Welcome to Smart Conserver.
We admire the beauty of blooming orchids, yet some of us refuse to have them. Some persons give one or two reasons why they don't have orchids. One, it's too expensive, and two, these plants are delicate and I will kill it. I had those reasons too, as the prices being asked for the plants, when I checked, could buy a trolley full of other plants. And for the free ones I received, these died easily under my care. I felt bad about the ones I killed, so much so that I vowed never to buy those expensive ones, as it would be like throwing my money down the drain. But that was my thought years ago. Today, I own 21 orchids and counting. I can tell you, those two reasons given earlier are now like myths, or some reason I adapted not to own an orchid. Let's look at the reasons and tell why it's now a myth. One, it's too expensive. Well, when I became interested in orchids, I checked some flower shops and they sold the big ones with lovely blooms in nice planters and stylish clips holding the spiked blooms. These you could pay for and they deliver as gift to anyone you want. Prices at that time ranges from $5,000 to a high of $15,000, and it was dependent on the type. You see those prices? How on earth could I afford those? I would have to use my food money and a couple bill money to afford it. Then, one day I was told of a place which sold them for as low as $500. Can you imagine? From $5,000 to $500? Well, I went to the place and would you believe I was introduced to the expensive ones? I was disappointed and I told the salesperson of my disappointment. However, she informed me that they do have some for $500. She told me that those were seedlings. I didn't understand what she said by seedlings, so she decided to show me. I was introduced to the seedlings and it showed what it would grow up to be if I took care of it properly. I was even showed what the bloom would look like. I bought 4 seedlings that day, with 2 seedlings showing actual blooms. It was then that I realized that some of these flower shops actually sell seedlings for prices far cheaper than what is out there for the large blooming ones. These plants are delicate and I will kill it. I've been given free orchids that I have killed. So when I purchased the seedlings, I inquired about watering, planting medium, and fertilizer. Watering was easy. Once a week if no rain, and twice a week during the hot summer months. These plants are water conservers, unlike some other plants which require water every day. Planting medium for orchids varies, and it varies according to types. Some uses charcoal, coconut cuttings, wood bark, even stones. Some are planted in the ground, while some are just hang with no potting medium. For fertilizer, I use what I already have, and that is a 20-20-20. I dilute it different though from when I'm using it on regular plants. So you see, I've stopped killing orchids. They are now growing and blooming to beautifying the surroundings. There are a number of things that I do love about orchids, and these are: 1. They require less water when you compare it with some other plants that I have. If you are someone who have a busy schedule or at times you just can't bother to look after a plant in the evenings, especially when you come home from work and you are tired, then orchids are for you. Also, if you have the tendency to neglect your plant and forget most of the times to water it, orchids are also for you. You don't need to keep orchid moss evenly moist. If it stays too moist, the orchid can rot. 2. They come in a variety of species. In fact, it is said that there are over 30,000 species of orchids. The 21 I have are only a dot on the vast numbers that exist. I will never be able to get all of those species. 3. There are orchids that can grow every and anywhere. You can hang them, place them indoors, outdoors, anywhere you desire. It, however, is dependent on the type of orchid that you have, as some love the sun while others grows in the shade. There's an orchid that even likes humidity in the bathroom, and it thrives well in the bathroom. I've seen where persons acclimatize the orchids that are normally grown in shades. They acclimatize them to grow in the sun. It's not hard. All you have to do is gradually introduce it to the sun. Number 4, orchid blooms can come in a variety of colors. These blooms can last for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, and they continue to bloom year after year when cared for properly. This is what I really love about my orchids. Now, because I have 21 orchids, I'm never out of an orchid or 2 blooming when these blooms last very long. Sometimes I even have 3 spikes coming from one orchid, producing multiple flowers. I have bought orchids that I don't even know what it will bloom like, as I tend to buy seedlings. So when it finally blooms, just imagine the surprise color I see. I can't say each bloom once per year, as some of my orchids look like it bloom every 3 to 4 times per year. Seeing the flowers my orchids bloom serve as a daily reminder of beauty and wonders of plants. An orchid lifespan combined with its beauty makes it a great way to add an affordable splash of color without spending time and money redecorating. 5. My orchids help to promote a calming environment filled with flowers and greenery in places it's not expected. There's a reason orchids are popular plants in spas and salons. You ever wonder? Overall, I wish I could have more orchids, planting them vertically if possible. Don't let the expensive orchids deter you. Start by purchasing seedlings. These seedlings are cheaper or the same prices as other plants. Then hold back on the heavy watering. It doesn't need great care. It's not a difficult plant as you may believe. It thrives on neglect, and you won't have to worry about buying expensive planter pot, as it can grow even on a wire. Get them either by purchasing or getting it for free.
You have come to the end of another series. Join us next time for more ways to conserve.